Again, okay, let's get started here just a second. This is not good. This no bueno. Not good. Just want to make sure that my light is very good. And we're up and running. Okay, here we go. So, hola mis amigos, ¿cómo están? Aquí su amigo Raúl. Thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. Good morning to everyone. When I did a video for yesterday, it was late and I was in the office and wasn't the greatest, but I wanted to make sure I brought you the information that I wanted to bring you. This morning, guys, it's very bad, very bad, very bad. So let me give you a real quick recap of what happened yesterday in terms of the Fed meeting. Yesterday at 2 o'clock, the Fed informed us that we're going to raise rates by 5%. The stock market reacted positively, and I forgot my disclaimer. So before I talk about the stock market or anything else, just remember that these videos that I bring to you are for education purposes only, not taken as financially, just for your own personal information, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so disclaimer out of the way. The federal government yesterday at 2 o'clock said we're going to raise rates 0.5%, and so they did. And actually, the market reacted positively. And the reason the market reacted positive when I refer to the stock market is because that's what they had said they're going to do, and because they did what they said they were going to do, it was like, okay, well, we're cool. But you guys are abiding what you said we were going to do, and so we're going to start buying stocks again. So stocks started to go up. So did Bitcoin. So did Ethereum. Man, everything started to go up, and life was good, just a little bit. Until this morning. See, we've been reporting earnings. The big companies have been reporting earning, and the sentiment of the economy today really goes back to retail, and not so much traditional retail, but online retail, like the Amazon. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Etsy, but Etsy is a platform where just every mom and pop businesses can post their products for sale. And online retail is missing numbers, which means they're not hitting numbers, which means that people are not spending the same amount of money that they were spending before. That's a problem. I've told you many times before, a recession is the slowdown of the movement of money. When money starts to slow down, it's an indicator that we are going into a recession, or the recession is already here. So when the federal government yesterday said, well, we're raising rates by 0.5%, the market was happy because the federal government did what they said they were going to do. But this morning, once we start looking at some of these reports, and we said, actually, people are not spending the same amount of money that they were spending before. Big money sees this as an early indicator that we're going into a recession. And guess what happened to the market today? It's right now 9:37. In the last hour, the stock market wiped away all the gains from like the last 3 days, and it doesn't seem like it kind of stopped. It looks pretty bloody. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. Before that there are a lot of indicators that are pointing towards a possible recession, and I also told you this in my yesterday, but I'm going to reiterate that today. It's very rare, regardless of what the federal government says, because the federal government right now is saying, guys, there's a way for us to figure out how to raise rates, control inflation, even though it's the high freaking inflation that we have had in 40 years, and keep us from going into a recession. That's actually what said yesterday. We believe that they call it a soft landing, which means that we believe that we can control inflation, raise interest rates, and keep us from going into a recession. But this is the same federal government that said about a year ago that inflation was transitory, and we all know that was not true. It has not been transitory. It has stuck around a lot longer than we anticipated. So I thought this morning, okay, well, I guess everything's going to continue to be green. I guess the market has be priced in basically what the federal government is going to do. And then all of a sudden, I start looking at crypto. I start looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin was hitting about 4,000. Bitcoin's at about 38,400, and everything else is just tanking. It's just dropping, and it's because big money understands that when people stop spending money, and by people I'm talking about normal everyday people like you and me, America, small businesses, they understand that when people stop spending money, those are indicators that we are going to a recession. Now, here's why some of these things are good. The government will stop raising interest rates once they see that inflation is being controlled. When people stop spending money, it means that we are starting to control inflation. So actually, the original video that was going to bring you today was basically the destruction of the U.S. dollar. How I felt that the federal government was actually not being aggressive enough with interest rates to control inflation, and that could still be the case. You see, we've only raised interest rates once by 0.25%, and then the second time yesterday by 0.55%. So that's 0.75% versus 8% inflation. So we still have a long ways to go. I'm not saying that inflation is going to be fixed next month. Inflation may not even be fixed by the end of 22. We might not see normal inflation numbers until 2023. But the fact that online retail is missing their mark means that people are not spending the amount of money that we're spending 6 or a year ago. And when people stop spending money, it means that the movement of money is slowing down. When the movement of money slows down, it means that we're going into a recession. Now, I've told this before, and I don't want to throw around the word recession. I really hope that it doesn't happen. I really hope that by some miracle of God, maybe Jerome Powell, who's the head of the Federal Reserve, pray baby Jesus, and he's able to figure out how to keep us from going into a recession, how to keep the market crashing, lower the highest inflation that we have had in 40 years, and not have to raise interest rates to where we have just at like 8 or 9%. I mean, I really hope that. I mean, I'm not saying he's not a smart guy. He's a smart guy to some degree, but that's a pretty heavy task to try to pull off. And I really don't think that as smart or as good as you are, I really don't think that's doable. Why? Because these situations are very unique. The reason we're in this situation in the first place is because of COVID. You see, because of COVID, we printed money for way freaking long. We kept interest rates really low for way too freaking long. And to put off, we had little to no production over the course of a year and a half to 2 years. So when you factor those three things together, obviously you're going to have crazy inflation. And now that's something that we have to. And the only way that you can fix inflation as high as 8% is with a recession. And when people are spending money, and that's when we have an indicator that a recession is right around the corner or could have already started. I'm going to keep today as I start, consuming more information. Literally, this is all I do every single day. I was not very interested. I wish I could stand here and talk to you about the Johnny Depp and whatever that crazy blonde chick's name is, but that's not what I do. I bring you financial content. If you want to watch that content, go somewhere else. I really do hope that you find this helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like my video, share my video, share it with your friends. Remember, it doesn't matter if you have money invested in the stock market. That doesn't matter. But what does matter is how a recession will affect you. Because unfortunately, recessions affect America and small business owners more than anybody else. And because of that, I want you to be aware of it. And because of that, I want you to be able to financially prepare. Because it's better to prepare for a bad situation and willing that bad situation doesn't happen than to have that situation happen and you are not prepared. And usually, most people don't realize that we're in a recession until we're right in the middle of the recession. So keep you up to date. Thank you for watching my videos, guys. I appreciate your support. I got a lot of support on my video yesterday, so don't forget to share it, and I'll be back with you soon. Thank you. Peace.